Namaste. This video, I just kind of wanted to sort of go over one of my my favorite mala beads and why it's my favorite one, and the symbolicness of it, and basically what to me it represents and why it's important to me and why it's my favorite one. This particular one is made out of, you can see, it's basically made out of lava rock, and you can see the guru bead right here, which is clear. I'm not really 100% sure if it's actually crystal or not. It actually feels like plastic, I guess. But the lava rocks are real, and in between each one has, after 27, this is sort of in the Tibetan style in terms of that every 27th bead there's a smaller one, which is made out of black onyx. So it's pretty decent size. It's my favorite colors, black and red together. And usually, if I'm not wearing this, I usually keep it on my my shrine. But anyway, where I got this idea from and what it represents, the whole idea about fire, is actually my favorite sutta, which is found in the Samyutta Nikaya, number 35, and section 28, called Burning. And just kind of skim through this really fast, because this is one of those things that would literally take all day just explaining this entire thing. And if someone really grasped the entire concept of it anyway, they would become enlightened. But it's one of those things that's really very deep and profound. And anyway, I'll just read a little bit of it here. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling at Gaya's head, together with 1,000 monks. There the Blessed One addressed the monks thus: "Monks, all is burning. At what, monks, is the all that is burning? The eye is burning, forms are burning, eye consciousness is burning, eye contact is burning, and whatever feeling arises with eye contact as condition, rather pleasant or painful, or neither painful nor pleasant, that too is burning. Burning with what? Burning with the fire of lust, with the fire of hatred, with the fire of delusion, burning with birth, aging, and death, with sorrow, lamentation, pain, displeasure, and despair. The ear is burning, the mind is burning." Basically, it goes through all of the senses, essentially body and mind, burning with the fire of lust, hatred, and delusion. This goes for all senses, basically for the ears, the eyes, the nose, the tongue, the body, and the mind. In Buddhism, we have 6 senses, and it's not like some people say, if you have some kind of like sixth sense about something, it's sort of like a deja vu kind of feeling, or perhaps if you had a dream and all of a sudden it comes true the next day or something to that effect. It's like sixth sense, but in Buddhism it's really the thinking faculty is the mind. So, I'm not going to get through I'm not going to go through this whole thing. That's just kind of the skim of it. And basically that every single thing that we hear, everything that we see, everything that we smell, taste, touch, the mind, our thoughts, essentially what happens is that we have these attachments. In short, we want to hear things that are good and pleasant. We want to see things that are pleasant, smell things that are pleasant, taste, touch, and that leads us to think about pleasant thoughts, and we attach ourselves to those things. And likewise, we want to, on the opposite side of the spectrum, we want to avoid those things which are not pleasant to us. So for an example, things that are good, we want to hear people say things that are pleasant to us and praise us and give us a sense of, basically stroke our ego and all that kind of thing. Because we have a tendency of attaching to those things that we associate with ourselves. And in the Buddhist teachings is that this isn't really good, because the more attachments that you have, the more suffering that you have, because everything is impermanent. Everything is eventually going to change. Everything is, the more attachments that we have to something, human beings or other beings, pets, or objects, when those things change, or if something, in terms of material possessions, if something gets broken or stolen, lost, or if we have to sell it, if we're strapped for finances and we need to sell something of ours to get money for it, the more attachment that we have to that thing, whenever something happens to it, the more we're going to suffer. Same thing with relationships in terms of human beings. When we're in a relationship, and whether it's a divorce or just break up, or someone dies, or someone has to move away, we lose contact with that person, and the list goes on, etc. But when that happens, the more attachment that we have to that person, the more we associate ourselves with that person, the more that we care about that person. When they're gone, the more suffering we have. So in Buddhism, it's this practice to non-attachment, but at the same time, it's a little bit complicated, I think. But in one way, how you could look at it, as simplified as this, is that it's not really to completely give up your attachments. As an example, for like your parents or someone that you care about, it's really more about having love and compassion to all beings, not just the people that are close to us, but to all beings. And when we do that, sort of as a universal kind of love and compassion, that's mostly what the Buddha is talking about here. But anyway, the reason that this particular mala is special to me is it reminds me of that. Obviously, it's called the Fire Sutta, and these are lava rocks. And I don't take a whole lot of stock into astrology, but some of the things I've found are fairly accurate. I don't want to say that astrology is the truth of reality or anything, but I found some things that are pretty true. And I happen to be a Leo, and it's kind of a cool thing because Leo is a fire sign. It's also ruled by the sun. It's just kind of my personal favorite element, and it just kind of works out for me. So this is kind of my personal mala that I use a lot. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, and I really appreciate watching and being patient. I've now gone over 10 minutes. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. May all beings be well and happy. Namaste.